can see that we've just gone live in the top corner. I can see Jack in the comments already. If you could all hear me loud and clear on YouTube, Jack especially, if you could just write some more comments on the YouTube, just so I can see that you can hear us all okay before we get started. Have a little look. Jack's in there. Let me just pop some messages in the community to make sure they know that we're live. And then we will get underway shortly. Right, I can see a load of questions, well, not questions, comments coming in just so everyone can hear us, so that's great. I know we've got an absolutely stacked AMA today with the guys at Red Apple that I'm going to get onto and introduce shortly, so I think we should head straight into it. So, yeah, as I mentioned earlier, a big milestone for us, AMA for us. We are obviously hosting the guys over at Red Apple. You guys have seen our recent announcement over there. So I just wanted to say we are beyond excited to obviously announce that we're teaming up with the gaming gurus at Red Apple to bring you something seriously epic. The guys have got 12 years in the game. They've been nailing the mobile gaming app development and art and design scenes since 2011. I believe that's right. They've got a killer portfolio from 3D racing games like Drafting King to their innovative Coco's 2D game Alien Smasher with over 40 million downloads to date. Here with us today we have Samir and Suparna. I believe I said that right. We did check that. Obviously from Red Apple Technologies. Welcome, guys. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Sure. Thanks, Alan. Yep. You want to go, Suparna? Yep.
I'd like to change the game. Usually people say the ladies first. Let me have an honor to introduce Samir, you first. So why don't you start introduce yourself? We are game changers, so let's change the game, you know.
Absolutely.
Why always ladies first?
Awesome. Yeah? That's a good start.
We're the game changers. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. So we are equally excited. Dylan, thank you so much for this great collaboration. Looking forward to working with the team. Red Apple brings a comprehensive team when it comes to game development, and then having a great community along with. That is going to be double excitement for us. I've been heading sales and partnership for Red Apple from past 5 years, and then we've been serving across the globe. Most of our gaming studios having repeat businesses with us. Reason like whatever we commit to, we fulfill that. We rather undercommit and do the best things with our comprehensive team. We do not have any dependency when it comes to game development. We have end-to-end game development teams. We've been, as you rightly said, operating since 2011, and then we have strong expertise. How we are known for our works is brilliant artwork, followed by a strong development team and the backend team. So that's about us and about me. Thank you.
Hi. So I like to add on something here. Like it has been just a week that I have joined Red Apples, and I come from this PR and corporate communication and brand development background, and it has been almost 17 years with multi-location organizations and various LOBs. Branding and talking about the brand and experiencing a product becoming a brand or a service becoming a brand has always been exciting for me. When I joined this organization, and then a couple of days ago when Samir introduced me about this particular project, I was trying to understand just one thing, guys. Of course, we will be having set of questions to answer. But what excited me very much here, and I requested Sami that I wanted to have a participation here where I get an opportunity to talk. This guy started in 2011. The owner, he comes from art and design background. There were a couple of people, his friends and folks, where they started this. They had this a vision of designing something which has design art and design at the core of anything that they do. In 2011, then when they started this organization, they never thought that today more than 150 customers where Disney, Pogo, DDTV, Airtel, Byju's, these will be the clientele. And what excites these guys is from deployment to development, everything they do with passion, and everything has an innovation. And I've seen a couple of folks here in this organization where they're talking to a customer, and with a pen they're sketching this entire wireframe of what they're talking about and how they're going to incorporate the ideas into a gaming thing in the board. And then I tell you, the passion that I see in this guys is phenomenal. So I'm very excited that after this conversation, and when we actually start the project, I will have a huge Bible of behind the scene where before and after effects of what we were planning and what we have done and how we can improvise can be actually scripted. And yeah, Marco, with some music, we can present it. Yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
that's about Red Apple. Yeah, that's about Red Apples. And I'm heading the marketing team here, and I would be a part of all conversations when it comes to brand alliance and featuring Red Apple in the PR spectrum. That's about it.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much for your introductions. I know that we've been looking around for a long time. We wanted to make sure that we got our game spot on and we work with the right people, like you just said there, visionaries that have already got a picture for us. And I know the first couple of conversations that the guys were having with you, there was already ideas of where it could go, where it could head. It's something we're super excited for. Obviously, being a meme token in the space, we wanted to bring in some real utility. So the utility was obviously going to be big around the game. So partnering up with you guys is something that we're really excited about. I don't know if you guys have been told, but we're going to be coming down, me and a couple of the other guys, to see you at the ICE conference next week, I believe it is, in London. So that'd be really exciting. We're hopefully going to get some content for our social media, get to meet you guys in person, and look forward to obviously building this collaboration with you as we go forward. So as you guys are probably aware, this AMA has been talked about throughout the community for well over a week now. There's been loads of questions coming in. We wanted to run this like a conversation. I've got a load of questions that I'd love to ask you guys on behalf of myself, the team, and also our community, Memeinator and Web3 crypto communities as a whole. As you guys have probably seen, a project is nothing without its community. So we love to get questions in from our community to get to know you guys a little bit better off the back of your introduction. So I'm going to head over there now, start with some questions, and look forward to hearing some more as well. So if I pop straight into the first question that I've got from the community for you guys, it's a pretty simple one. It's basically, can you share more about Red Apple Tech's expertise in the gaming industry?
Yes, I'll like to answer this. Samir, may I? I'm super
Sure.
excited to answer this. As I said, that 2011 and now, the gaming industry, or this gaming development industry, has evolved, and especially after the COVID, it has taken a 360-degree turn. Whatever we do, we keep in mind two things Absolutely. Number one, it has to have a design led thought process. We are extremely diligent and passionate about our design led thought processes. We keep it as a core, number one, so that whenever it's just not a fake game or something, the overall applications, the overall vicinities get attracted to your eyes and to your system so very well that you get addicted to the game. Number one. Number two
Hmm.
is, of course, this 2D, 3D, AR, VR, all these technology, keeping those aside, we believe that an overall experience generation, as I said, from deployment to development, and of course, the aftermath of after creating the game, the entire support. So that is important for Red Apple as an organization because we believe in not just creating and give it back to you. We believe in maintaining it, and we, as I said, the design-led thought process, the core team membranes, and of course the overall vicinity maintenance is for us as a core. So Red Apple is not just an organization that is just creating applications or games and giving it to the customers, but it is also liable and responsible for its 360-degree taking care of it.
Perfect. I think that's definitely given me a little bit more of a rundown. I wouldn't say I'm a massive gamer personally, but when you have games like Call of Duty, all these kind of stuff, it's all about why am I going to come back constantly? Why do I want to go again the next day and the next day and spend hours and hours of time? These great games that I've played in the past, why was I going back and spending hours and hours on these games? So I think that's a really, really good point that you make there.
Yes.
And that's what we want, right? At Memeinator, we want to create something with you guys that people are going to want to play. It's not just a feature to go, oh, look, we've launched a game. We want it to actually be used. We want people to be coming back. We want people to love the graphics, the music, as we were saying. We kind of want it all. So I think that's a really, really good point you make there, and a very, very good answer. Thank you very much for that.
Pleasure.
If I roll straight into the next one, I think this is a good one for you as well, Suparna. It's what unique gaming experiences or features does Red Apple Tech bring to the table for Memeinator users?
Yes, of course. So we would like to, excuse me, we would like to take it like this, that once we get deeper into the discussion of the scope of work and once we start creating the applications, we will start to understand deeper the player's persona. We can try and modify or start implementing more and more features, more technology. Maybe again, it's a 2D or a 3D or an AR or a VR. But first, we can go deeper and immerse into the gaming once we get an understanding deeper of the player persona. So for us, number one, understanding the scope. Number two, understanding the player persona in the second step. And third, deploying and developing based on the requirement of the player persona is very important. So we want to carve it in first 3 points.
Yeah, I like that. Like I said, I think it's very important with what we've built already before obviously partnering with you guys and before starting to create a game. We're always open to feedback and listening to our community and what do they want to play? What do they want to see? There's no point in us building something for us because although we're going to use it, it's going to be the whole of the community. We want everyone to be able to use it. So I think that feedback, and obviously you can see now in the comments, the questions that we're getting in, what people want to play, what people want to see. I think that's very, very important. So looking forward to having them conversations with you as we progress further. So going to start rolling through these now. What would you say your key achievements and successful projects are in the gaming industry so far?
Yes, this is my favorite question. What I've heard from these guys, 2011, when they started, they were pretty much blank that what do you want to do? Where exactly you want to excel? And again, this as this industry graduated with newer technology, newer efficacies in the gaming industry, having clients like Pogo, Disney, DDTV, Byju's, Airtel, they are really milestone, because if you see the graph, we are not 200 years old organization. We are just even 12, 14 years, not even 14 years, having 150 plus clientele and 200 plus customer interactions and so many million downloads every day. When I look at this customer base, and as I said in my first introduction, that when I look at the team who are developing this game out there, this is mind blowing. So if you really want to ask customers, they are big names. And for me personally, I believe that no name is big and no name is small. For us, each and every customer, each and every distribution of what we have been committed to is very important. So it's not like that if it's, oh, it's Disney, we'll have 200 plus hours. Oh, it's a small customer, we'll have 2 plus hours. No, for us it's very important. So yeah, Disney, Pogo, and there were a couple of people, they were talking about gaming applications. So am I audible till end?
So and so.
We,
Yeah, it
we
was
lost the we lost the back end there. It broke up a little bit on the connection, but I just wanted to highlight some of the points that you were making there. I was going to go into the next question around obviously the big projects
Yes.
that you guys have worked with.
Yes.
So I know some of our community that might know some of these names. I mean, Disney is one that stands out for me straight away. You know, everyone I'm sure in our community has either watched Disney or been around Disney. So yeah, I'm happy to run through them just for the guys there. So yeah, Red Apple Tech, if you guys didn't hear, they've worked with projects and companies in the past such as Games 24, Airtel, Baiju's, Disney, like I just mentioned there. These are all huge organizations. Pogbo, BBTV, and that's just a few to name there. So yeah, you've got a hell of a resume there, Samir. I know that Sapana's just dropped off there. I'm not sure if it's the connection or not. Shall I run into the next questions? Are you all right with them, Samir? Is that all good?
Yes, we can go
Yeah.
ahead and go to the next question.
Cool, perfect. So what are the plans with Memeinator? I believe, yeah, what are the plans with Memeinator? How can Red Apple help with their, obviously, or your guys' experiences and help it become a great game?
Okay, I think this is just an addition to the previous question. I would say the most important thing for a Red Apple team is taking a lot of time in collaborating with teams, finalizing the scope of work so that we are aligned, and it should be evolving as we have a community. We have a great community along with us. So that's the first and foremost thing, and that's the bottom line for Red Apple, always ensuring understanding the scope so that there is no difference between desired and delivered. So it should be always what you desire, we deliver that. And coming to providing the immersive experience, persona is always we are keen on understanding who's going to be the gamer, like who's going to interact with the game, what kind of trends they follow, what are their likings, and like the nature of game would define like it should be a 2D game or a 3D game, or we make it a 2.5D. Because it can be a combination of 2D and 3D games. So it all depends. So again, design centric, and we would use the latest technology, which is going to be Unity. And our aim is to deliver the superior and high-end gaming adventure for our community and the new gamers who is going to be added with this new title, which we are coming up with.
Perfect. Welcome back, Sapana. I know we lost you for a little bit there. I think it's all good. We've got you back loud
the
and
game
clear.
changed.
The game changed. The game changed.
The game changed suddenly. Yeah.
We've gone through obviously the big companies that you just worked with there when Sapana dropped off. So I think just going off the back of what Samir said there, I'd love to know more about the story of Red Apple and obviously your team's vision for the future of gaming technologies and how you see that evolving.
Yes. So the story started again. You asked me 200 times. I would love to reply 20,000 times. Like the story started in 2011, where two people from art and design industry clubbed along with some developers with a vision of creating something in terms of game development. That was a time when this industry was not that much happening, and in this part of the country it was absolutely not. They started exploring, they started learning, they started joining more people with small projects. Today in 2024, Red Apple has customers and Red Apple has its own name with a global clientele with 150 plus people in the part of the country where I am in India, where in our other offices we have right now two offices. We have 150 plus employees, and when I'm talking about employees, there are developers, there are designers, there are marketing enthusiasts, and of course techies. Starting from absolutely nothing in 2011 and now with these employee base and with this strong clientele and every day striving hard for learning more, participating into events, not just to sponsor or not just to showcase that we are doing this big game. The idea these guys are having right now is they need to understand and they are exploring more and bigger avenues in the gaming industry. Why? Because Red Apple now is all set, equipped, trained, and knowledged to explore more into various facets of gaming application. And not just into gaming, slowly we are also thinking of stepping into overall digital transformation. We are just also not just only focusing into game, we are also envisioning to start creating applications for various other platforms, maybe something else, maybe something like Facebook in the world. We might try something else in some other time, but we just do not want to restrict ourselves into gaming right now. But of course we will transition, but gaming design led thought processes will be our core always, because that's where we started and we do not want to leave that behind. So that's the patriarch we have, and from that patriarch we are learning, and we are into this evolution process. Today we are 150 plus. I'm sure down the line in 5 plus we will be 300 plus. It's not just about adding more employees, it's not just adding more offices, it's also adding more and more design led thought processes, bringing up more technology incubation in the in whatever aspects of gaming structure we create. And we look forward to have more and more such conversations with customers like you. And it's an absolute honor to see and join this organization, which is absolutely having a progressive mindset to, talk, explore, make mistakes, and correcting those mistakes. So their CEO
Yeah.
is very strong. So I was discussing with Samir that day that what are your thought process about the COE? Because see, you're dealing with technology. Hiccups are absolutely sudden. How are you trying to mitigate those hiccups? So then Samir was saying that we have a complete different setup. It's just not a whiteboard of rubbing off everything and again doing something else. We have a complete the center of excellence team who are only doing this not just for their bread and butter, but also for their own passion. That yes, if there is any tech glitch or any design-led glitches, the COE can definitely set up and mitigate those situations. So I see a broader spectrum for Red Apple guys in the coming days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you're spot on with that. I think that was something that really stood out for us when we first had conversations with you guys, was how much experience you've got. Obviously, since 2011, that's a hell of a lot of time, a hell of a lot of lessons learned, I would have thought. And obviously going back to the partners that you've already worked with in terms of different businesses and organizations. I'll quickly run through again: Games 24, Airtel, Baiju's, Disney, just to name a few. And for us, like you said there, we want to continue to grow. I mean, in Web3, for me personally and for everyone else in our team, it's one of them spaces where everyone that works in the space lives and breathes it. We don't just work just to earn money or work just to keep the lights on or keep food on the table. We really have a true passion. And I think that was something that really stood out for us, speaking with you guys from the first day, So obviously, like I just mentioned there, you've been around since 2011. And we mentioned, like I just said, there's a lot of lessons that come, a lot of learnings. You guys have obviously got multiple offices now with over 150 members of staff. I'd just love to know what kind of challenges your teams have encountered in the gaming sector and how they've overcome or addressed them so far.
I wanted to answer this in a different way, but I would love to answer this in this way. In a context to recently, what happened to me, we were talking and the internet got wasted. I mean, I was
Yeah.
lost. What I did, that's something important. What I did, I just Skyped Samir that I lost my connection. I'm joining again. That's the instant mitigation, you know. So that's an unplanned hiccup. You know, I never wanted to have this hiccup in this technology domain where we are creating something, even you know, you're scripting something and suddenly the entire data is gone. This might have happened. This happens every day. You slip off your coffee mug and you spill off this entire thing. This also happens. So I would not say that as an organization or as a technology company, um, digital hiccups doesn't happen, or it's just not about digital hiccup. There are language barriers. Since we have global clienteles, I have seen there are language barriers. There are time zone bifurcations, you know. What is good for you, it doesn't work for me at times, you know. Internet barriers, technology understanding, and most importantly, understanding each other's requirement, collaborating, talking, and then framing up the entire structure and delivering on time is what we want to do. But what if we do not do, or if we fail? We say and we understand, and I'm not saying that we are surrendering that no, we cannot do it on this time. We understand it before time. We go back to the blackboard and we reframe, and then the COE steps in, and then we say that, dude, we wanted to do it this way. This is what happening, and we are facing these challenges. Either you interfere, or you want me to mix it up and fix it up in this particular time. So the understanding, the transparency, the coordination at times disturbs for unprecedented time or for unplanned events. But we as an organization have seen people how they are mitigating. We do not take it as challenges, we take it as lessons, learnings every day. We learn, we study, learn and unlearn, and then we deliver. So if there are no challenges, I would say that there is nothing called a smooth gateway. It will be all stories. In technical, in a technical forum, there is nothing called a smooth way. So we are learning from our learnings. We are learning from the collaborative efforts, and we are proud that we have been able to deliver some good projects. And of course, we'll be doing yours as well.
Thank you
I would
so
like
much
to
for
add
that.
something, Alan, to this. I think if we talk about challenges, whenever any services company starts, they say yes to everything. Okay, that becomes sometimes challenging for an organization. I'll tell you, there are some game engines which stops their support. So let's say if you accept those game engines or some kind of plugins which doesn't have a support, initially you plug in and everything works fine. And if it goes wrong, then you do not have support or make any changes. So that becomes a deadlock. So we've been very suggestive based on the experiential learning we have done on our projects. Sometimes clients comes with a preset mind that we want to build using this platform because they have heard from someone else there's some certain game which is working fine, but it depends with geography, what kind of handsets people would be using. So be very particular about suggesting the right things which has the support, which can have upgrades, which can have meaning larger vision to the things. So that really helped us. We've been kind of suggestive, and then we've been very advocative when it comes to suggesting the right things to the right customers. So that really helped us addressing those challenges and mitigating the risk for the projects.
Perfect. Thank you very much for clearing that up. I'd love to, whilst I've got you, Samir, go into something a little bit kind of Web3 based and dive into some questions around that. So I'd love to know if Red Apple and you guys have collaborated with other blockchain projects already, and if so, maybe potentially who they were and what the outcomes were.
Sure. Devin, we have worked on blockchain projects, but they are under very, very strict NDAs. I would not be able to name them here. To be honest, that's one of our thing which is emerging, and then we are kind of gearing up for blockchain. So we've been doing some collaborative projects where we have not done everything end to end. So when it comes to art of the NFTs and doing the front end of things and then helping the integration of blockchain into it. So we were part of it, but I would not say we did something end to end as of now. But we have a R&D team which is constantly working on that to make sure we come up to speed and then we can independently start delivering that. So we are almost like at a stage where we can do independently, but I would say we're not expert at the moment. Till the time we deliver at least like 4 to 5 successful projects. We have delivered a couple of them independently, but they are still under maintenance. So we are working on them. So that's our experience. IoT is something which we have explored in gaming, which really helped a lot of our clients. Internet of Things, where you can have real-time boxing, just putting the sensor and then collaborative runs. Those are the kind of projects we have worked on. Because during COVID, people were pretty limited to their homes. So to socialize, sitting at home using gaming, we have helped one of our clients build a collaborative run platform using IoT. When you see an environment on your screen, you're running, you can see your avatar and you can have collaborative running with your friends. You join the meeting, you can chat, you can see how they're running, how fast you run on your treadmill would make progress, your avatar would progress on the screen. So those kind of platforms we have built. So that's one of our core expertise.
Yeah, that's super interesting that you speak there about COVID and that the pandemic and when that came around. For me, like I mentioned earlier, I'm not a big gamer. I very rarely game now, but during COVID, I don't know what I would have done without gaming. You know, there was nothing else to do. I remember sitting there throughout COVID and it was messaging your friends, what time are you coming online, and just spending hours and hours and hours. So I can imagine that since that time, I know a lot of friends now that are big into gaming still, that never done any gaming up to that point, you know. So for COVID, I always say, even for me in different ways, COVID, as sad as it was and as hard as it was for a lot of people, was transformative for a lot of companies. As many companies that went down and suffered, there was a lot of companies like yourselves, gaming companies, and development companies that really rose up through that tough time. So I think that was a really, really important point that you made there, and something that really, really stuck in my mind. I know that you mentioned about obviously NDAs, and of course, I understand that everything in the space is kind of NDAs and very, very secretive. But I'd love to know, if you could, how many downloads combined does Red Apple have across all of your games that you've kind of created so far? And what is the highest amount of downloads that you've had for kind of your top game?
It's been a long journey, Dylan, and we are a services company, so we do not keep track of games after a certain period of time. But we are very concerned about when we build a game, it should have a minimum threshold within stipulated time. So I can recall, like there are 20 to 30 titles which had more than a million downloads within like 3 to 6 months time. And one of the best ones I would talk about is Stephen Sharer Rocket Slide, which we did for BBTV, which is broadband TV based out of Canada. So what they're specialized in and then how we have collaborated with them, I would like to talk about that. So they work with YouTube and meaning TikTok influencers. They already have the community individuals. So BBTV approaches them and try to build a game for their followers, very, very customized to the content a YouTuber or an influencer is doing. So we created an avatar for a gentleman called Stephen Sharer, who would keep playing some games at his place. It has a big backyard, some water games, some slides, some challenges for their followers. So we created the avatar for Stephen Sharer, and we got 100,000 downloads within 2 to 3 weeks time after launching the game. So that was one of the fastest number increasing onto the Android Google Play Store, and we almost double of that on the iPhone. So that was one of the notable downloads you can talk about. And then we have many other cooking game we have done for a client that had like almost like 200,000 downloads within like 6 months time from the launch. So that's more or less about the downloads.
Wicked. Thank you very much for that. I really appreciate just trying to give the community an idea of how vast these games are and how many downloads. Like you mentioned there, Rocket Slide on Android was over 100,000 downloads within 2 weeks' time. So these aren't just any petty numbers. These are the very, very big numbers. So let me just go. I want to kind of talk about Memeinator now and our game and what it's going to be like going in and diving into some community questions. Obviously, you guys, the community, if you've got any questions and you're listening to this live, like always, this will be recorded so you can head back and listen to it as and when you please. But if you've got any questions now, live time in the comments, feel free to stick them comments and the questions over there, and I'll try and get some of them towards the end. So Samir, what type of game are you looking to create for us? Will it be a 2D game, a 3D game?
It is going to be a 2D game. It's going to be an action genre game, which we are trying to build.
Wicked. I think that was more of a question from the community. We've had a lot of questions over the last few weeks, obviously asking about if there's going to be NFT integration. I can obviously say now that initially there won't be an NFT integration. That's not to say that won't be coming in the future. But right now, as we start, like you mentioned, it will be a 2D game, and initially there won't be any integration in terms of NFT technology. Well, I'm going to head into and welcome Marco into the chat. You guys, Sapana and Samir, thank you so much for your answers and the questions, introducing yourself. It's a big milestone. We're super excited to be partnering with some real industry leaders like you guys. I'm going to run through some Memeinator bits now. You're more than welcome to stay online and listen to what we've got to say and our ongoings. I know you guys are probably really busy, so if you have got to go, I just wanted to say thank you very much for your time and explaining everything about Red Apple.
It's our pleasure, Dylan. Thank you for this opportunity. We are really excited, as we said. Yep.
Thank you, guys, and welcome Marco to the chat. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. I'm doing very well.
What a conversation so far. I'm going to obviously head into some questions that the community have got. I've got some written down that the guys have obviously been asking throughout the week when we announced this AMA with the guys over at Red Apple. So the one that I wanted to get in first, I think you could really help answering this one, is do you think that we will get a private beta for the OGs here? So our guys that have been investors in the pre-sale at Memeinator from the very start, everyone loves being early. Everyone loves getting that kind of beta, little run around. Will that be a thing? Is that something we're looking to roll out for everyone?
Well, hopefully, yes. For sure, we will want to have a feedback from our community as we will proceed developing the game. So hopefully, yes. Of course, you know, when you roll out a game usually when you develop a game, you have a way to test it. And you also have a way to share it privately with some people. So we will probably share, an earlier version of the game with some of the OG investors, and probably we will do that. Quite likely.
Super sick. Yeah, I think to me that's probably a given, right? Like we mentioned earlier during our conversation previously, we love feedback. We'd be nothing without the community that we've already built. So there'll always be opportunities there. If it's not the game, there will be loads of other things where we'd love feedback from the guys. And we want to build something that everyone's going to use, right? We don't just want to build something that no one's going to download, no one's going to use, no one's going to get behind.
Absolutely. So as said, I think that it's fundamental for us, right? So we will do everything that is possible to make sure that some people from our community will provide feedback and will enjoy the game before the others. So definitely yes, and consider that I don't know if I can say that, but I feel like the game will just be one of the products that we will be working on and releasing in the next months. We got also other plans. Now the focus is on the game, of course, but that will be just one of the elements that will complete the ecosystem of Memeinator, of the Memeinator range of products, right? And you will see the game will also be able at some point to interact with also external parts of the Memeinator product line range. And yeah, I mean, just give us the time with Red Apple to complete the development of it. And as soon as we will have a build ready to be play tested by some people from the community, we will do that. We will share it. And but again, don't consider the game as the definitive milestone. That's probably the first, right? That's not the last one. That's the first. So that's just the beginning, right?
Yeah, I think that's a very important point that you make. I know that we're a meme project, and our goal is to obviously bring real utility to the table, right? So I think it's very important that you say there that we're not just going to be stopping at the game. There's going to be a lot more to come for us. This is just the start, like we mentioned, and you can see in our roadmap, Q1 2024 is all about the game. So I think
let's
it's a
remind
really
everyone that Memeinator, the core concept is we want to destroy we want to destroy the meme coins, right? We want to be the Memeinator of those. So I think it will happen, right? I mean, we got plans for that to happen. The game is really the tip of the iceberg, I believe.
Exactly that. I've got a few other questions from the community. What I thought I'd do though is head into some Memeinator ongoings, what's been happening, and then we'll jump back into some questions towards the end. Another milestone that we've just hit. I know a lot of the guys are excited about is we have just surpassed $4 million raised in our pre-sale. So congratulations to everyone there. Another huge milestone. I mean, these stages seem to be selling out super quick now. I believe that we are now only $20,000 raised away from stage 14. As you guys that have been around for a while already know, there are only 20 stages now. We did burn 9 stages. So at stage 14, we have only got 6 more stages left. So super excited about that. As you have seen, unless you're living under a rock, we have also released a billboard that was currently outside SpaceX, trying to get Elon Musk's attention. A lot of you guys are super stoked about that. I know Jack was hoping to get on the billboard, should I say. Everyone was super excited. We're looking to do another one. There is a current poll being run in our Telegram. So let us know where you'd like to see the next one. I know that for some reason, Jack said he'd love to see one in Brentwood in Essex for some reason, but that wasn't on the list. Let us know. New York, maybe China, Singapore. Let us know where you think we should do our next billboard. We have now breached over 120,000 Twitter followers. I keep saying Twitter. Excuse me, that's now wrong. It is X. It just rolls off the tongue saying Twitter now. So another huge milestone, over 120,000 followers there. And we are currently running a $10,000 bounty for Elon Musk. So if someone can get a retweet from Elon, any engagement there, a reply, we are running a bounty. So if anyone wants to spam the messages, get over there, try and get his attention. I know a lot of our community are already doing a fantastic job there. There is $10,000 up for grabs there. So yeah, there's some huge milestones that I just wanted to touch base on. It's a great one. I love how, and the community love it as well. You know, we had obviously Arnold Schwarzenegger that we went after, and everyone was spamming his Twitter. And now, as we had the billboard outside SpaceX, we thought it was only right to try and get his attention by heading over to Elon, and especially with the video that we've got that our guys created around that, I think it was very fitting. So just a couple more questions that I'm going to go through, Marco. I can obviously answer a few community questions. I know this has been an absolutely stacked AMA so far. So I'm just going to pick and choose some here, pick my favorite ones out, ones that I think will be best for us. We've got some people asking if there will be more merch added. Look, we've got the merch store. We've still got that. I'll link that in our Telegram. We did take that away from the website just for the time being, just we could add obviously our referral program, the staking that's obviously on there, and the giveaways and media for you guys. So I will link the merch store in the Telegram for any of you guys that everyone always asks about my hoodie, and I don't know if you could kind of got the Memeinator logo on the back. We've got t-shirts, caps, socks, everything. Like I mentioned earlier, you want one of these as well. We'll see if we can see if we can sort you out. I mean, to be honest, we will be at the ICE. Well, I'll be at the ICE conference next week, so I'll try and grab a few t-shirts and bring them for the guys that are there on your behalf.
Samir, please do not forget to take one hoodie from Dylan for me.
Certainly, I'll be there. I'll be there. Yeah.
It will fit me, Dylan. I'm slightly not healthier, so it should fit me. So yeah.
We've gone for oversized fits. I've always liked bigger stuff and comfier stuff, so
Samir,
you're all good. So
I'll do that.
we'll get some stuff for you guys. That's not a problem. But any of the community that wanted some as well, I will link our merch store. All of the prices are very, very fair. Like I mentioned, there's mugs, hats, socks, with anything that you could name and possibly want Memeinator on, we have created. Let me go through a couple more questions here just before we sign out for everyone. So Marco, did you just want to touch base again on the kind of genre that we're looking to create in terms of the game?
Yeah, so the genre is like we can say it's a survivor game where